Hi everybody, welcome to my National Scrapbook Day for Country Craft Creations project. We are going to make this really cute little album. It's super fast, super easy, and you can use your 6x6 paper pads to make it. So let's do a flip through. It's closed with in my case I used a seam binding, but I've made this with twine and baker's twine, whatever you like, string, yarn. You could use anything for the closure. Nice plain cover. I used a couple of grommets on the back, but you don't have to hold the closure. The covers are made of chipboard that is not wrapped. It's just the visible chipboard, so it gives it a kind of a rustic look. You could wrap it if you wanted. And then inside it's held with these little hinges. I made a book recently based on a design by Christina Radovan. It was a little different than this one, but people really liked it, and I didn't do a tutorial for it, so I thought, well, let me just adapt it, make it a little smaller and easier, and that's what this is. And I used a 6x6 paper pad. It is Farmhouse Market from Cartabella from Country Craft Creations, and I used the Craft Artisan cardstock, and this is linen color. I actually, when I made this one, I didn't have access to all my supplies, and I used some paper from a sketchbook, but I wouldn't particularly recommend it. It's already a little worn and cracky a little bit, so go ahead and use your artisan. And it's just, you know, this little, every single section has two pockets, 1, 2. Now, I did not mat all my white pieces, but you certainly could go ahead and I got a scrap here, yeah, all these plain ones, and you could go ahead and mat these as well, which should be really pretty. I did not, but you could mat, embellish however you like, but you can see it's got tons of pages, and you can make as many pages as you want. You know, you can make this bigger because there is no spine. It'd just be fatter and fatter the more pages you added. So super easy, super cute, doesn't take much in the way of time to make, although it does take a fair bit of supplies, even though it's little. If you do it just like this, it really doesn't take all that much, but if you decide you want to mat all these plain pages, you're going to start eating up paper, and you'll want at least 2 6x6 collections, maybe even 3. All right, let's get started and make this pretty little book. All right, let's get started. This quick and fun project. I cannot even tell you how fun these are to make. Okay, at least for me. What you need are 5 pieces of 6x6 pattern paper and 4 sheets of 6x6 solid paper. And your solid paper can be artisan cardstock in craft or whatever color matches your project, or white or cream, or just whatever matches your project. Now, when I was cutting mine out, it wasn't actually where I had access to all my stuff, and I ended up using this white paper out of a sketchbook, and it worked pretty well, but it's not artisan, and it you know, it's a little, I'm not sure how well it's going to hold up. So but you can use whatever, and you're going to need, if you're using similar paper to me, you can let me speak that again. If you're using similar paper to me, you can use craft to make your hinges, or you can use whatever color matches your project. 1 sheet will do. And then you need 2 pieces of chipboard that are 3 by 4.5. Okay? And then you'll need, I'm going to make my cover by punching a couple of holes in the back and putting in some grommets. If you don't have the tool for that, it's the We Are Memory Keeper grommet thingy. If you don't have that, you can just use a piece of ribbon or something like that. And then I'm going to run a piece of whatever I have, twine or ribbon or something, through those grommets. So whatever you want to use to close your book, you'll need that. Okay, so let me show you. I've already folded mine, but I'm going to show you on this one how to do it. So you've got a 6x6 square. You want it, put it in your scoreboard with the design going up and down. Okay, so this is top, this is the bottom, and score it in half at 3 inches. bear in mind you're going to score it towards like the bottom. So whatever's on the bottom is going to be inside when you fold. All right? And that's just something you need to bear in mind, and you'll see why in a minute. Okay, so you're going to score it at 3. Score it in half at 3. Okay, rotate it 90 degrees so that the bottom is on the left, and score it at 1 1/2 inches. Okay, you're going to do that for all of the pieces. Then you are going to fold it in half, trying to match your corners to make it even if you can. Okay. Then you're going to fold up. Now, when you fold up, this is going to form a pocket. And you can see that these baskets are now upside down on the front of this pocket. Doesn't bother me, but with some designs like words or something, that would really bother me. So that's why I said you need to be conscious of what's going to be the inside, what's going to be the outside, and what's going to fold up. So the bottom part of this is going to be upside down as the pockets. So just be aware of that when you're choosing your papers and deciding which way you're going to fold them. Okay? All right, so then unfold. So you had it folded like this. Open it up. Fold it in half like this again. Grab your scissors. You may recognize this. We did this pretty much the exact same thing when we made the Christmas ephemera folio way back when. Okay. And then you're just going to take a little chunk, like a wedge, from the bottom. You want to start at the bottom, a little bit from the center, and just work your way up to that fold line. And don't go past the fold line. Then when you open it up and fold it, you'll see you have a little wedge there, and that allows you to neatly close your page assembly. Okay? So that's that. I'm going to set it aside because I don't need that one. All right. So now the next step is going to be to cut your little hinge pieces. And I forgot to have a piece handy. Hang on. Let me just grab one. Okay. So you have a piece 1 1/2 inches wide by 4 3/8 in length. Okay, it's just a hair shorter than your cover. And you want to score it in half, so that's at 3/4 of an inch. Okay, you're going to fold it in half. With these little ones, for whatever reason, they never match corners, and they're too small to worry about it. So just leave it as is. Now, here's where you're going to have to make some decisions, all right? So you want to mark the center of this. So it's basically 2 1/4 and a hair. I mean, you don't have to be perfect, okay? And then you want to mark up from the fold at each end, 1/4 of an inch. Just like that. Okay, and you're only doing this on the side that is a little shorter than the other one. Like, they don't really meet. One is shorter than the other, so you do it on the side that's shorter. Now you have a couple choices. You could take your ruler and draw a straight line from here to here like this. I'll just do it for you so you can see, just like that. And then you can turn around and do the same thing here. That's I've done it this way. Okay. It's very easy because you don't have to freehand anything, and then you just cut along the line while it's folded. I wanted mine to be rounded, so I just took my pencil and did sort of a freehand curve. Like that. Now it doesn't match perfectly, it's not a perfect curve, but that's how I did it. And then I cut along that line. Now if that would drive you crazy, then I would do the straight one. Or if you have a decorative border punch, you could use that. Just make sure you leave the bottom 1/4 inch intact. Okay, so then let's let's go ahead and cut. I'll do the straight one this time because I've already got the round ones. All right, so you're just going to cut this out, either a round one or a straight one, however you want to make it. Okay, you open it up and you have this shape. Okay, this is going to be your template, and you're going to use this to cut all the rest. Just score, fold, trace this one, and then cut. And for this you need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, 10. All right. All right, so now you've got your pages, and you want to set them up so that you have all your pockets, of course, at the bottom, and alternate a print, a solid, a print, a solid, etc., etc. Okay? So set aside your covers, set aside your little hinges, and get your glue. And you really, I should have a fine tip on this. Hang on. Okay, now so take your first page. Now, if you saw my flip through of a similar album that I did, I varied a lot of my pockets with different kinds of things, and you can do that. But for this, where all of our pockets are the same, so you're just going to run a little bead of glue right down the edge of each of these little pockets. And press them in place. And I'm gonna need a new baby wipe. That one's getting pretty grubby. Okay, set it aside. Move on to the next one. Open it up. Oh, well, thin bead of glue. And burnish it in place. Now, if you're going to ink, you want to ink before you glue these pockets into place. The only thing I inked is my hinges. You want to use a light hand with the glue and be very close to the edge, because the more glue you use and the more the further in you are from the edge, the less room you'll have in these pockets to put anything. Okay, that's that. Now we put it together. All right, so take your first page, make sure your pockets are at the bottom. Take your first hinge, and what you're going to do is it's going to go here like this with one pin left loose and the other one attached to the folded side of your page. Okay, so what you're going to do is put glue on here. If you want, you can only glue just that 1/4 inch and leave a little bit free as a tuck spot, but I am not going to do that. All right, and then you want to center it. Now, if you want, you can make your hinges the exact same size as your pages. I just make mine a little bit short. But if you prefer them to be the same size, then by all means cut them 4 1/2. Okay, there's that first one. Okay, this is going to get attached to the cover. Turn it over, grab another hinge. You're going to do the same thing. Again, it's going to go on the fold side, so that's the opposite side now. That's over here. Okay. And light it up. Just like that. Okay. So now we have hinge here. Now the next thing to go on is the next page, and that page is going to get glued to this hinge, right? So close the hinge, put your glue here, okay, glue. Make sure you've got the top at the top and the bottom at the bottom, pockets at the bottom, and lay it down, and then you want to lift it up, give it a little tap, you want to make sure it's lined up perfectly with the previous page. Okay, you can open it up. And there we go. Okay, now we do a hinge. And the hinge is going to go here. Right, so you want to, it's going to go like that, so you're going to put your glue here. Everything is still straight. Okay, now we're going to take the next decorative sheet. Make sure the pockets are at the bottom. It's going to go here. You can see how easy this is. Again. Everything is lined up. Okay. And then we do a hinge. Just keep repeating this until you've used all of your pages. Okay, so that was the last page, and then the last thing we need to do is add a hinge to this last page for the cover. Okay, Now, before we attach the cover, we could attach the front cover, but before we attach the back cover, I want to put the holes in it for my closure. Okay, and I'm going to grab a pencil and a ruler. Alright, so I don't want it to actually be in the middle. I want it to be a little lower than middle. So I think I'll do 1 3/4 up from the bottom. And I'm just making a mark. Don't go too close to the edge because you don't want it to show from your mat. And then I'm going to go in half an inch from each side, just like that. Okay, and then I'm going to use this little device. What the heck is this thing called? I've totally drawn a blank. Okay. Put one there, turn it around. Double check my measurement. It looks a little. No, it's fine. Okay. Just like that. Okay. And then, oh, you know what we want? Hang on. We want the cover on here before I put the grommets in. The mat. So hang on while I pick a mat. I have a little bit of paper here, and I have some scraps over here. And you know what? I have that spare page that I made. That'll work. Let's use that. Alright, so the mat needs to be 2 7/8 by 4 3/8. That's good. Alright. And I'm just gonna if you're not going to do grommets, then you want to go ahead and run a ribbon or something behind this mat. Twine, whatever you like. And I am not wrapping my chipboard. I'm going for the rustic look. But of course, you can wrap your chipboard if you want. Okay, then what I'm going to do is just re-punch those holes. Okay, there we go. All right, now I need to put a couple of grommets in. Do we want bright gold? Probably not. It's sort of dull silvery color is good. I don't know if I have another one of those though. I have gray. Oh wait, here's another one of those silvery ones. I think we'll use that. There we go. Twine would be really good, but I don't think I have any. I think I've used up all of my twine. And of course, we are still in quarantine as I'm filming this, so I can't go out and get some. Hang on while I see what I've got. All right, I have this really pretty seam binding that goes really well. We'll use that. All right, and what we're going to do is insert it up from the inside. And then we're going to do the same here. This piece is much longer than I need, but that's all right. I'll cut the extra off after. All right, so pull it through. And what you want to avoid is what I have right there, is a twist. So just fiddle with it until it's nice and flat, because you're going to put a mat over it. You don't want a big bump. Okay, and then this is going to go here on the back. The other cover is going to go here on the front. And I'm going to put it together like this. And I'm going to wrap it. I don't know if you, okay. So I'm wrapping once and bringing it back around the front. And then I'm going to take the other one and wrap it once and bring it around the front. So it's going to do 2 wraps and then a bow. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that to make sure that I have the length I want, bearing in mind this is going to get fatter as you add things into it. So you want to leave a little bit, and that seems like a good amount. Just like that. Okay, there we go. All right. Now, the mat for this, we need to put on now, because this is going to get glued on top of it. So we need another mat for the inside front cover and the inside back cover. And like I said, I'm working with some scraps here, so let me see what I've got, if there's anything of a size. Oh, that's a good size. Just need to take a little bit maybe off the width. Yep. That's good. It's a little shorter than it needs to be, but it's okay. Do I want to ink it? I'm just going to knock down the, it's got a white core, so I'm just going to knock down a little bit of that with some ink. Okay. Ooh, do we want that side? No, I like that side. Some bulk there because of that ribbon, so you want to give it a good burnish. Okay. All right, so now we're going to take, just be very careful to make sure that you've got your ribbons towards the bottom, any design is up and down, and it's going to get glued right here. I suspect I had that out of camera range, I'm sorry. So my ribbons are towards the bottom, my pattern is up and down, and I am just going to place that there. And then we're going to do the same thing we've been doing. Check it for fit. Looks good. Okay. There's so much bulk with this that it's easier to just sort of stand it upright the way I am and then burnish like that. Okay, now you got your back cover on. Front cover, we're going to do the same thing. We need a mat for the inside front cover. This green might look pretty. Okay, all right. And what size did we say this was? 2 7/8 by 4 3/8. Right. There's that. Okay. And this one is going to go here. Had some glue seepage. There we go. Alright, be careful with your glue. I had some seep out and caused me a little bit of damage right there. Okay, so there is that. Alright, so your book is essentially done at this point. All that's left is to add something on the cover and do a little embellishing. I love these pink spots. Let's go ahead and do those. It's very bright. We may want to use the blue and double matte with the pink. And then I have some cut apart sheets in here as well. Some other scraps. Let's see, that pink might be a little bright. I don't have too many big size pieces left though. I'm gonna use the gray. Oh, this one's pretty. A little more subdued. What's on the other side? Oh, we got the flowers. Let's use that. Okay, so 2 7/8 by 4 3/8, right? Yep. All right, let's make sure we put it on right side up. Not that there's a right and a wrong, but okay. Right, there is that. Now I have let's see, I have some other things from this collection. Let's see, got some Puffy stickers, not very many left. I used a lot. Got some of these. Got some stickers. Let's see, I wonder if we have little one that says memories might be sweet, just right there at the bottom. I like that. Okay, so that's a possibility. And we've already got a lot of flowers. I think it's going to be that one. Look, this little label. Both of these are pretty, these little frames. No, don't care for that as well. I still like that one that's in memories the best. Okay, let's go back to that. Alright, and I'm just going to tuck it right there at the bottom. That. All right. And of course, you can add flowers or whatever you want to that. Okay, now let me just go in here. Got my little. These the same. Oh, got 2 different cut apart sheets here. interest of keeping this brief, I'm not going to fuss a lot with these cut aparts, but I'm going to cut them apart and just tuck them in so you can see. Okay, I've done that. And I'm thinking maybe we want to put a little tuck spot here. I don't want to do a lot of embellishing, just like I said, in the interest of saving time. But I think we should do something. Okay. All right, I love this little basket. Let's do that. So I'm using this little basket sticker. I'm going to grab a piece of my blue. I hate to use that piece. It's a good piece. Have I got anything more scrappy? No, I don't. Okay. I'm just going to use it. Oh, wait a minute. It doesn't have to be blue. Hang on. Some futzing. Okay, let's use this. All right. I know it's a sticker, but I don't really trust the glue to last a long time. So I've just gone ahead and stuck it on this scrap. I'm going to fussy cut. Okay, there we go. And then we're just going to put that there as a little tuck spot. Go. I need a little more in there. I didn't put too much glue. I think I need a little bit more. Okay. And then I just have all these little cut aparts. You could of course make tags and inserts and anything you like. But just like I said, in the interest of saving time, I just did a few little things. You can see these would all fit in your various pockets here. And these, of course, are the plain ones. You could fully mat these. I'm going to show you another book in a second where you'll see where I did that. I'm just putting one in each so you can see. That's something I cut apart for something else. Okay. All right, so there's all that. It's over here. I don't think a pin is going to fit in there. Okay. Let me just tie it and see. And then depending on how you decorate your cover, you can either tie this right on the front or you can tie it on the side. I'm going to go ahead and tie it on the front. There we go. Done. All right, now let me grab one that I did mat fully so that you can get an idea if you want to do that. All right, this little project was inspired by these bigger ones that I did that were based off a tutorial by Christina Radovan. This, as you can see, of course, is much smaller. But this one, these used combination of 8x8 and 12x12 papers, so it's a little more complicated. And I used 49 and Market from my stash for it, which 49 and Market, if you've never used it, the designs are beautiful, but I don't buy it anymore because it is printed on the heaviest of cardstock. It's not really paper, it's decorative cardstock. So it can be tricky to use, and you can see how bulky this book is because of it compared to this one, which is the exact same design with the exact same number of pages. But this one I used Graphic 45 from Country Craft Creations. This one I used the 49 and Market. So yeah, I don't really recommend the 49 and Market. It's beautiful, but it's difficult. But in any case, so I wanted to show you, like, this is the equivalent of our white page. It's a navy page, and it's fully matted throughout. So where in our book we have the plain white, I've matted. So if you've got enough paper, I was using scraps as you saw, I didn't have enough, But if you have enough paper, just go ahead and mat your plain pages and it'll look great. Let me put that aside. All right, so that's our little project. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you had fun with it. It goes together so quickly. They're really cute. You could do a lot with them. It's the kind of thing you could just throw in your bag. You could put some pictures in for grandma. Whatever you want to do with it. Make a nice little recipe book. All right, well, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you make one. I hope you make a bunch. Make great Christmas gifts. You could start now. I know it's crazy. It's so early, but you could. And I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Don't forget, you can get all your supplies at Country Craft Creations. I will link it down below. Bye-bye.